In this episode, we're exploring an abandoned asylum building that dates back to the 1700s. It first opened as a hospital for the poor and later became a military academy. It was then converted into an asylum in the early 1870s. At its peak, the facility housed over 1,500 patients. The main building alone covered 2 acres, and the entire complex is about 30 acres. This main building housed most of the patients and facilities, along with some incredible architecture. The asylum eventually shut down in the late 80s when Italy began implementing deinstitutionalization and psychiatric reform. Join us as we see what's left inside. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Start protecting yourself on the web at nordvpn.com/properpeople and use the code PROPERPEOPLE at checkout to get 75% off a 3-year plan.
After a bit of a squeeze, we made it into the asylum. Already, we found ourselves in an incredible room. This chapel lay at the center of the building with symmetrical wings extending in either direction. This is an impressive main entrance here. Oh. The asylums in Italy are insane.
Yeah.
Pun intended. Oh man, this place is mental. Did you notice there's a level up there? Be cool to try to get up there.
They had these old lights and then they had fluorescent lights above them.
Yeah. Okay, let's walk straight in here and see where we end up. Oh, these hallways are so good.
Wow. It's clean too. All the glass is intact.
Yeah, there's not a single pane of broken glass.
No graffiti. This is good.
Wow.
The lights in here. So low.
There probably would have been tables under them.
Or beds.
Or beds, yeah, that makes more sense.
They're so low, and they're just on a wire.
It's a dusty duster.
Clean up around here. Some bathtubs. And one of these big jug things.
Careful with that.
You hear those bugs?
There are so many of them. They're just flies, right?
Yeah.
Is there like something in the tubs? They're all flying around this tub back here.
I don't know. But there's so many. They're everywhere.
hallways are beautiful.
A cart with crosses on it. There are so many bugs on it. Why are these bugs forming certain things? There's so many. Holy shit.
Are they all just flies?
I think so.
They move around the building too, like a storm cloud. They don't seem to just stay in one spot.
It's crazy. They're just big flies.
These structural supports were installed a few years ago after portions of the building began to collapse. It's good to see the community taking steps to preserve the building rather than letting it crumble.
Yeah, you can see where it's cracking and they're trying to keep it up still.
I kind of wish those structural supports weren't there because they're kind of ruining the shots. But then again, if they weren't there, the building might be collapsed. So it's probably a good thing.
All the staircases in the corners look like this, and they're blocked
Yeah.
off with the construction tape.
We'll just go up the main staircase, which looked awesome anyway.
Like they're ready to collapse based on how many poles there are. Another long, skinny, empty.
Oh, this tiling is really cool. Yeah. They look hand placed. And the color is just so typical vintage Asylum.
A laboratory, but it's walled off.
Can you see anything through the hole?
It looks pretty empty in there. But it could just be this room. I don't know.
Maybe there's another way back there. That's the lab building over there. And it looks like there's an open door. This looks like it was a horse stable or some sort of animal pen. Like repurposed. Look at the floor.
Yeah.
Later on, we found chickens in the other detached buildings of the asylum, so that's probably what was kept in here as well. Here's the room we saw through the hole.
Some kind of tape. I don't know.
There's a radiation symbol.
Yeah, but it does look like it has a reel-to-reel thing on it. Something with real.
It says dosage.
Could be like a X-ray thing.
Maybe.
Like the strips, the film strips of X-rays, maybe. The flaking is pretty much everywhere.
Look, it's an abandoned backpack. Wow. There's some smoke damage. The hallways are really nice on this floor too.
Did you find anything special?
No. This curtain is really nice.
This is where the fire damage is. Fire was lit in this room, which it looks like a library.
It does.
So they used the pages of the books to burn the place down.
It could have just been a filing room.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing left, really.
But there's those little bins left that look like they would have held files.
Yeah. Actually, the room right next to this looks like a non-burned version of this.
Does it really?
Yeah, if you go right to this doorway. At least a smaller version of it.
Yeah, it wasn't a library.
It was file room with all these papers on the floor.
You can even see the building's getting kind of crooked right here.
Yeah, right here you can see how the floor is at a slant versus the walls.
The
And the
windows
angles are
becoming crooked too.
Angles are just all off.
This window too looks really crooked. Now this area has some of the lowest ceilings we've seen so far.
And a collapse.
Yep, that goes right up to the next floor.
These are very different rooms from the rest that we've seen.
Yeah.
And this part of the building has not been stabilized. It's all cracking and collapsing. A typewriter.
I guess that's why this area was bricked off.
Mm-hmm. They did not stabilize this, clearly. Another one of these microscope things. There was one of these in the barn-looking room by the lab.
I don't know if there's security out there.
It's fine. The slide would go under there, and then it would project it
Like an X-ray slide or something?
like a microscope. Like
Oh, a microscope.
Yeah.
So it just
microscope.
enlarges it onto the screen there?
Yes.
That's cool. We were pretty close with our guess. This was actually called a microfilm reader, and it was essentially a space-saving device. It allowed for the storage of images and documents on small slides, which could later be magnified and viewed. This looks like a dental rig right here.
A very old one.
Megatherm.
I love these arms that still work.
Yeah, even after all these years. Oh yeah, definitely. Dental.
Did you see this one?
Not yet. We're gonna check that out soon.
You seen stuff over here? Yeah. If you like this, you will love this.
Okay.
Okay. We're trying to not get anyone shots. So. Right. X-ray machine.
This doesn't even look that old in here.
It's missing most of the X-ray equipment though, but
Just the control panel. That type font is so old. Outdated looking.
standing X-rays.
These are some heavy duty knobs. Very tactile buttons.
Wow, there's a lot left here. It's where they develop the x-rays. And they'd hang them, and there's still x-ray film in there.
Oh, so these are actually developed. They're just very hard to see.
Yeah. Spooky.
There's not a lot to see. Maybe it faded away. What year does that say?
1996.
Okay.
It's a rib cage.
Yeah. This one's a spine. It's kind of hard to see though.
They're very light.
Yeah, probably because of their old age. What year is this one?
Doesn't say.
Oh, it just says 1115.
Yeah.
I don't think they had x-rays in the year 1115.
Here's the church. Wow.
Is there something cool in here? Whoa. Well, we can finally say we've seen a surgical light that's still intact and attached to the ceiling. Do you know what kind of table this was?
For gynecology.
Yeah. How much does it move?
Pretty much all of it.
Can rotate everywhere.
There's no light bulbs in it.
I'll watch the window.
No, clear it. It's supposed to be right. There are light bulbs in it. Wow. Just the center one's missing.
Imagine this thing bearing down on you. That would be scary. Very strange. Tile is still very shiny. They had Jesus on the cross up there. I think literally just the hallway is like my favorite part of this asylum.
It's a nice overview of the chapel.
It's odd, this is like so close to the ceiling though.
Yeah, there's really not much room up here. I guess if you're just here to observe or something, you just peek in here.
Oh, this looks like a laboratory or something.
Look at this huge test tube holder. That would hold a lot of test tubes.
Yeah, the hallways are not as crazy up here. This hallway looks really cool still though. There's a random mirror there.
This looks like something you torture someone on. Like someone would go on here and like flip them up and down, and then you throw darts at them or like knives.
It goes from here to standing up.
Yeah, it's a bed that tilts that way. And this looks like you'd strap them in here.
These hallways really are something else. With the amount of vines growing in, you wouldn't think this was on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, they're growing up the walls. Look at this room. Come in here.
It's like a church above the church.
Yeah. Another church.
Where do these stairs go down to? Probably to access the ceiling of the church. We're above the church, right?
Yeah, but I mean, there's a mid section. It's spinning in there.
Oh yeah, there's air circulation.
This is just storage.
By this point, there was only one area of the asylum we hadn't yet seen: the cellar.
Or dead cats. This thing's mummified. Did you see it?
No, I didn't. There's some old Coke bottles down here, though.
It's a cat mummy.
Holy shit. How did I miss that? There's a bunch of those globe light fixtures.
Oh, come on. Look at this keg.
For wine, probably.
Yeah. For, the 2 churches they had.
There's a lot of books and stuff in here. Look, a book about schizophrenia. This document dates back to 1936, a time when Italy was ruled by fascist leader Benito Mussolini. Here are some excerpts. The reappearance of an empire on the fateful hills of Rome is an accomplished feat and a glorious example of how the vigorous education of the youth, the totalitarian discipline of a people, and the unyielding will of a leader can set the destiny of a nation. We raise from these pages that see the light in this asylum a triumphal hymn to the proletarian and fascist Italy. Long live the king, long live the leader, long live Imperial Italy.
There's tons of really old-looking files back here. 1934.
When it comes to abandoned asylums, it doesn't get any better than this. Between the natural decay and beautiful overgrowth, the stunning architecture, the lack of vandalism, and the number of fascinating artifacts left behind, this location truly has it all. Although we only spent one afternoon there, it's a location that we'll never forget.
Thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. NordVPN is a super easy to use VPN service that makes protecting yourself online as simple as a click of a button. Their service uses military-grade encryption to secure all traffic leaving your device. NordVPN makes your traffic invisible to content filters, ISPs, malicious snooping, and allows you to easily get around region restrictions. We use NordVPN when traveling to protect ourselves on public networks, and it was especially useful for when we were traveling in Europe. Their server map allowed us to connect to the internet as if we were home in the States. If you use any public Wi-Fi network, we recommend that you protect yourself using NordVPN. Get 75% off a 3-year plan with an extra month for free at nordvpn.com/properpeople and use the code properpeople at checkout. That's nordvpn.com/properpeople.